Mazda's rugged compact crossover enters 2027 with its formula intact. Standard all-wheel drive, 2 gasoline 4-cylinders, and handling that shames most of the segment. Here are 10 things worth knowing about the non-hybrid CX-50, from powertrains to pricing, before you put a deposit down at a dealership. Mazda was once expected to hand the CX-50 a full redesign for 2027, but current industry expectations point to a straight carryover instead, with a possible overhaul pushed to the 2028 model year. That matters more than it sounds. It means the sheet metal, the cabin architecture, the powertrain lineup, and the driving character all arrive essentially unchanged from the 2026 car. For buyers, a carryover year is usually good news. The bugs of a launch year have been worked out, dealer inventory is predictable, and incentives tend to be more generous than on a freshly redesigned model. It also means anything written below should be treated as expected rather than officially confirmed until Mazda publishes final 2027 specifications, which typically arrive shortly before deliveries begin in early 2027. The gas CX-50 continues with the same two-engine strategy that has defined it since launch. Lower trims use the naturally aspirated Skyactiv G 2.5-liter inline-4, rated at 187 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque. It is not quick, but it is smooth, unstressed, and perfectly adequate for commuting and weekend hauling. Step up, and you get the twin-scroll turbocharged version of the same 2.5-liter block, which produces up to 256 horsepower and a genuinely muscular 320 pound-feet of torque. There is an important asterisk. Those peak turbo figures require 93-octane premium fuel. On regular 87-octane, output drops to roughly 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet. Either way, the turbo's mid-range shove is the CX-50's party trick, and the reason it feels quicker in traffic than the spec sheet suggests. Both gas engines route power through a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. In a class overrun by continuously variable transmissions, this is either a charming holdout or a competitive disadvantage, depending on your priorities. It costs the CX-50 a few mpgs against CVT rivals, but it delivers crisp, decisive shifts and never produces the droning rubber band sensation that plagues so many compact crossovers under hard acceleration. Every gas CX-50 also comes standard with Mazda's iActive all-wheel drive system, with no front drive version offered at any price. That is unusual in this segment, where AWD is typically a costly option, and it is a meaningful value argument for buyers in snowbelt states. MyDrive selectable drive modes, including a sports setting and an off-road mode, are part of the package. Nobody buys a CX-50 for the EPA numbers. The naturally aspirated 2.5S models return roughly 24 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway, and 26 miles per gallon combined, while turbocharged versions land around 23 city, 29 highway, and 25 combined. Those are respectable, but not class-leading results, and they sit well behind a hybrid RAV4 or CR-V. Paired with a 15.9-gallon fuel tank, the naturally aspirated model manages roughly 410 miles of combined cycle range, which is fine for road trips, but not remarkable. This is why the CX-50 exists. Mazda built it on a wider, lower-slung platform than the CX-5, with a longer wheelbase and a track that gives it noticeably better body control through corners. The steering is quick, accurate, and weighted with an unusual amount of feel for an SUV of this size, and the chassis responds to inputs with a fluency most compact crossovers cannot match. The turbo model in particular feels planted and confident on a good back road, and the 6-speed automatic's willingness to hold the gear helps. Ride quality is firmer than the segment norm, especially on the larger 20-inch wheels, so buyers prioritizing plushness should try both wheel sizes. But for anyone who actually enjoys driving, the CX-50 is the enthusiast's pick in the compact SUV class. The CX-50 was designed from the outset with a light off-road remit, and the Meridian Edition trims lean into it hardest. Expect these versions to continue offering 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in all-terrain tires, black roof rails, gloss black exterior badging, and hard-wearing interior materials. Combined with MyDrive's off-road setting, which recalibrates throttle response and traction control for loose surfaces, the Meridian is legitimately capable on gravel forest roads, muddy trailheads, and light two-track. Ground clearance sits in the 7.5 to 8.6 inch range depending on trim and wheel package. This is not a Wrangler competitor, and Mazda has never claimed otherwise, but it comfortably outpaces the average urban crossover and lands in the same conversation as a Subaru Forester Wilderness for weekend adventure duty. Interior quality has been the CX-50's quiet advantage since launch. The dashboard uses genuinely nice materials, restrained horizontal lines, and physical climate controls rather than buried touchscreen menus. Terracotta leather and available white leather packages give upper trims a distinctly premium feel that undercuts entry-level luxury crossovers costing thousands more. Technology should carry over unchanged: a 10.25-inch center display, a 7-inch driver information screen, 8 speakers on lower trims with an available 12-speaker Bose system, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, HD radio, 4 USB ports, and a wireless charging pad. The one persistent complaint is Mazda's rotary controller interface, which requires a learning curve and only enables touchscreen input when a phone mirroring app is active. At roughly 185.8 inches long and 80.8 inches wide, the CX-50 is longer and considerably wider than most compact rivals, though the sloping roofline keeps overall height down to about 63.5 to 63.9 inches. That translates to approximately 31.4 cubic feet of cargo volume behind the rear seats, and around 56.3 cubic feet with them folded, which is competitive but not segment-leading given the exterior footprint. Rear headroom is adequate rather than generous because of that rakish roof. Towing is where trim choice matters most. Naturally aspirated 2.5S models are rated for 2,000 pounds, while turbocharged versions jump to 3,500 pounds when properly equipped. If you plan on pulling a small camper or a pair of personal watercraft, the turbo is not optional. Mazda has built a consistent record here, and the CX-50 reflects it. The 2026 model earned an Insurance Institute for Highway Safety Top Safety Pick Plus award and a 5-star overall rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And a carryover 2027 model should be positioned to repeat both, though awards must be re-earned annually and criteria tighten over time. The standard driver assistance roster is comprehensive. Smart brake support with automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, forward collision warning, and adaptive cruise control appear across the range rather than being reserved for expensive trims. Higher trims add a 360-degree monitor, front cross traffic alert, and a head-up display. Remote engine start via the My Mazda app is included with a connected services trial subscription. For 2026, CX-50 pricing ran from roughly $31,395 for the 2.5S Select to about $44,395 for the 2.5 Turbo Premium Plus, before a destination charge near $1,495. Analysts expect a typical 1 to 3% bump for 2027, which would put the entry point somewhere near $32,000 and the loaded turbo close to $46,000. The sweet spot has consistently been the 2.5S Premium or the naturally aspirated Meridian Edition, where you get the good interior materials, the standard all-wheel drive, and the rugged styling without paying turbo money. The top Turbo Premium Plus, at nearly $46,000 all in, wanders into territory where genuinely premium badges start appearing on the shopping list.